It's December of 2022, and my parents were very disappointed to know that instead of a new phone for Christmas like a normal person, they would have to give their son a floor-to-ceiling IKEA whiteboard. Little did I know that for the next 6 months, this whiteboard would be one of my best friends. Oh, did I say whiteboard? I meant the very large paper on the other side of it, with all my tasks staring me in the face at all times. A literal wall of responsibility. Needless to say, I was spreading myself thinner than this piece of paper over a lot of tiny things. University applications, school video projects, robotics videos, YouTube projects. I didn't want to do something boring. I wanted to stand out. And videos were something that I was good at, like a cheat code for higher grades. So I was holding myself to unreasonably high expectations because in my mind I thought if I'm playing to my greatest strengths, anything short of perfect is a failure. If I had to use another analogy, there was this one episode of The Backyardigans, season something, episode something else, the Volcano Sisters. The boys wanted to throw a party, but there's this big scary volcano where the titular Volcano Sisters lived in. They wanted something, but not exactly saying what it was, but if they didn't get it, they would push this big red button and destroy the entire island, just like the threat of nuclear war in the 1970s. When I try to rationalize why I set these high expectations for myself, my brain says, I don't know, bro. If you don't, I'll push my own big red nuke button. This island in the episode is like my brain, for the most part calm, except for the giant scary volcano personal expectations, but if I don't appease my own volcano, I explode or blow up. Thinking like a volcano is a destructive way of living, but it's too large to remove. It is a natural disaster. Best I can do is appease the volcano like my boy Austin from The Backyardigans. If you watch the ending of that episode, you'll realize that all the Volcano Sisters wanted was to be invited to the party. A solution so obvious and simple, yet it took the whole episode for the boys to step back and analyze the problem from a bigger picture. Black Mirror Season 4, Episode 1, USS Callister. Don't worry, it will all make sense later. But if you don't remember, the plot goes something like this. Robert Daly steals his co-worker's DNA and puts them in his weird Star Trek parody simulation. All the virtual clones are sentient, imprisoned in the simulation for all of eternity. Nanette, our protagonist, also gets trapped where the other clones are helpless in their efforts to escape. She then realizes she can communicate with herself from the real world and take out the simulation from the outside in, taking a literal step back, looking at the problem from a bigger picture, snap back to reality, oop, there goes gravity. Like Nanette, the best solution to a problem is often a really simple one that comes from an outside perspective, perhaps a second pair of eyes from another person. I've learned from these past 6 months since getting this whiteboard that stress can make us tunnel vision on a single problem, not realizing that the solution is just in your peripherals. Being ambitious is great in life, don't get me wrong, but you want a dormant volcano in your brain, not an active one. But sometimes giving ourselves limitations can relieve the stress of perfection. If you couldn't tell by now, this is an English assignment featuring some of the strangest references that you can think of. Produce a video as if they were being posted to your YouTube channel. Well, as if. For the longest time, I've wanted to make a video like this explaining my brain and sharing that experience with or without this assignment anyways. So, from a YouTuber slash filmmaker slash high school student trying to get by, a person who worries way too much on the little things, living with a brain volcano, sometimes it takes a step back, not to realize how small the tasks are, but to realize how big you can actually be.